Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Christina Linden, and I am the Health and Wellness Outreach Coordinator here at ARC Outreach. At ARC Outreach, our mission is to provide affordable medication to those in need. So if you or anyone you know is struggling to pay for your prescriptions, please reach out to me afterwards or visit our website, www.rxoutreach.org. You can see what medications we carry. You can also enroll in the program for free. Today, we're going to be learning about health and wellness myths, and some of them may surprise you. This is just one of our weekly sessions in a series of free community health education webinars led by medical professionals and experts. These sessions are recorded and uploaded to our YouTube page, so you can go back and review them or send them to a friend as a resource. You can find us at YouTube and simply search RX Outreach to find it. Our webinars would not be possible without the help of our sponsors. And so I'd like to thank Anthem, Cigna, the Bridgeton Landfill Community Project Fund, Lutheran Foundation of St. Louis, and the Marillac Mission Fund. Without them, this resource would not be possible. So thank you sincerely to our sponsors. Now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Roy Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson is a philanthropist, a health and human services professional, community advocate, and he's passionate about uplifting marginalized groups and communities. His background is in juvenile justice and in youth and family services. Over the past decade, he's had a lot of experience working with families who have complex mental health needs. And so without further ado, Mr. Roy Jefferson, I'm going to pass that over to you.
All right, thank you. And so today we'll be discussing health myths. Is that really true? Okay, finally got it. Bear with me. So health myths. So over the years, we have all picked up our own ideas about health. Whether it's a fad diet, debunked research, or just a common belief that sounds true, but has been scientifically disproved, there are many misconceptions surrounding our health that could be keeping you from living well. Today, we will examine the truth about common health myths to better understanding and to live better lives. And so our first myth that we're going to discuss is being in cold weather makes you sick. Sickness is due to infections caused by bacteria or a virus. As more people come in closer contact in confined spaces in winter months, bacteria and viruses spread easier. With prolonged exposure to cold temperatures, your body begins to lose heat faster than it can be produced. When you lose heat quickly, you're more at risk for developing hypothermia or frostbite. So when temperature gets cold, so you're more at risk of developing hypothermia or frostbite rather than just the cold temperature making one ill or making them sick. Our next myth is to stay hydrated, we should drink 8 glasses of water a day. The thirst is the body's signal that hydration levels are dropping. Water-rich foods like soup, fruit, and vegetables, and drinks like juice and tea all help you maintain hydration. The source for this recommendation may be linked to a 1945 article from the National Research Council, which noted that a suitable allowance of water for adults is 2.5 liters a day. That's roughly 8 to 10 ounce glasses of water. Overlooked was the fact that the recommendation noted that much of our water is already contained in the food we eat. Some fruits and vegetables that are high in water content include melons such as watermelon, honeydew, and cantaloupe, strawberries, pineapples, peaches, oranges, bell peppers, broccoli, and celery. General research shows people who drink water when thirsty stay healthy and hydrated. And again, also it's important not to only drink your water, but we should also eat our water as well. Possible signs of dehydration are dry mouth, fatigue, thirst, difficulty passing stool or constipation, headache, poor skin turgor, and urine color. So skin turgor, let's just say if you take the back of your hand and you can pinch the skin, they'll test to see how fast your skin goes back to normal. Also, you can look at your fingertips, and if your fingertips should be purple, I'm sorry, it should be pink. But when you press your fingertips will turn white. And so another test would be to see how fast your fingertips go from the white back to the pink. And those are just some couple of signs of testing for dehydration. So again, constipation and difficulty urinating are two more common symptoms of dehydration in children and adults. This means going 8 or more hours without urinating, without going 8 or more hours without urinating. So our next health myth are eggs are bad for your health. Egg consumption was discouraged by many healthcare providers because of their high cholesterol content. What researchers discovered later was that individuals who consumed eggs also consumed bacon, ham, red meat, butter, sausage, and other food products that are high in saturated fat and trans fat. Eggs alone do not contribute to causing high LDL or bad cholesterol levels, and LDL stands for low density lipoprotein. In fact, eating one egg a day did not significantly raise cholesterol levels in individuals. And so again, our LDL is what's considered bad cholesterol. LDL makes up most of our body's cholesterol. High levels of LDL cholesterol raise your risk for heart disease and stroke. And then also with the bad cholesterol, LDL, I think it's also important to note that there's also a good cholesterol called HDL. And so HDL is a high density lipoprotein, and it's good because having increased levels of HDL cholesterol within your blood system, it traps the bad cholesterol, sends it to your liver for it to be destroyed. And so our LDL helps lower our LDL. So it says when your body has too much LDL cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol or the bad cholesterol can build up on the walls of your blood vessels. The buildup is called plaque. As your blood vessels build up plaque over time, the insides of the vessels narrow. This narrowing blocks blood flow to and from your heart and other organs. When blood flow to the heart is blocked, it can cause chest pain or what's called angina, and it also can cause a heart attack. And so again, so eggs are full of healthy nutrients. There's one study that did show that those that have diabetes, that them having a high intake of eggs and the cholesterol could cause increased cholesterol in them. And so that was only noted in diabetes patients. And so our next myth will be the flu shot gives you the flu. The influenza virus and a flu shot are inactivated and they cannot cause an infection. Some people experience soreness or redness near the injection site after vaccination. If some people do get flu symptoms after being vaccinated, it's more likely because they've already been exposed to the influenza virus before getting the vaccine or before the vaccine could take effect. They may have been affected by a different type of virus, or non-flu virus that is not protected by the vaccine. And also, they may have an illness that is that has similar symptoms as the flu virus. Our next myth would be carbohydrates make you gain weight. Excess calories causes one to gain weight. Everyone has a different caloric intake depending upon one's age, sex, height, weight, and level of physical activity. The Food and Drug Administration recommends 2,000 calories per day as a standard on all food labels. It's important what carbohydrates we do ingest. And so here on the screen, you'll see there are complex carbs and there are also simple carbs. And so loading up on simple carbohydrates can cause weight gain. So the simple carbohydrates shown are like French fries, there's cookies, chocolates, sodas, different candies. Those are simple carbohydrates do cause weight gain. And so when it comes to choosing carbohydrates, which ones to choose, it's more important to make sure that your diet is full of those complex carbs. And so the complex carbs are like nature's carbohydrates. And so that'll be if you like your bananas, oatmeal, berries, sweet potatoes. So those sugary sources that are not super processed, like we see in our simple carbs, or it's like bread and French fries, even cereals too. And so those carbohydrates are extra processed, but are those natural sources of carbs that come straight from nature. Or complex carbs are most important to have. So our next myth is feed a cold, starve a fever. In general, one of the best things to do when you have a fever or a cold just is to maintain a regular diet as best as you can. And sometimes it's difficult. If you're sick, you don't feel like eating, but it's most important to make sure that you stay hydrated and that you are eating some. Centuries ago, the increase of mucus in patients with the cold was blamed on a slowed down metabolism. So physicians prescribe eating more food. Even though you may not feel like eating again, your body actually requires more calories when you're sick, so it can heal properly and quickly. Our next myth will be chicken soup is a great treatment for the common cold. While chicken soup isn't an actual cure, it can indirectly fight the ailment. The water in hot soup help replace lost fluids and the salt. And the salt helps the body retain water and prevent future dehydration. Also, the warm liquid can be soothing and it can ease congestion by decreasing mucus flow. Our next myth is bottled water is better than tap water. Unless you live in an area with known unclean drinking water, opting for bottled water isn't necessary. Tap water also contain added minerals, including calcium, magnesium, and potassium. By avoiding tap water, you could be missing out on fluoride, which is important for keeping teeth from decaying. Our next myth are carrots are good for your eyes. While carrots cannot improve your vision, they are a good source of beta carotene, which is a form of vitamin A. A deficiency in vitamin A can lead to vision problems and eventual blindness. For most people in developed countries, vitamin A intake is sufficient with a well-rounded diet. A balanced or well-rounded diet gives your body the nutrients it needs to function properly. To get the nutrition you need, most of your daily calories should come from fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, whole grains, legumes or beans, nuts, and lean protein. So some examples of lean protein would be turkey or chicken. Turkey, chicken, and fish. I'm sorry, almost forgot about fish. Our next health myth is organic foods are pesticide-free and more nutritious than non-organic foods. Organic food is not pesticide-free. Farmers who grow organic produce are permitted to use chemicals that are naturally derived as opposed to synthetic. Studies have shown that organic foods generally have less pesticide residue than non-organic foods. According to the USDA, pesticide levels on both organic and non-organic foods are so low that they aren't of concern for consumption. Present studies have not proven organic food is more nutritious than conventional food. Conventional food. So another health myth is eating too much sugar causes diabetes. The American Diabetes Association states that diabetes is a complex disease, and there's not enough evidence to say that eating sugar alone is a direct cause. However, weight gain and consuming sugary drinks are associated with a heightened risk of diabetes. And so, just some of the risks that just to discuss will be risk factors for diabetes would be weight, fat distribution for those that are carrying more of their weight in their abdominal region, low activity or low exercise, if they're a family history of diabetes, and also race and ethnicity play a role as well. And so those that are more prone to developing diabetes or people groups will be African Americans, Asians, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Pacific Islanders. Another health myth is taking vitamin C can prevent a cold. In spite of ongoing studies, the scientific jury is still out on vitamin C. It appears that for the most part, taking vitamin C won't help the average person prevent colds. However, taking vitamin C before the onset of cold symptoms may shorten the duration of those symptoms. Our next myth is drinking warm water helps you sleep. Warm milk helps you sleep. Drinking warm milk can help you relax, but there's no evidence that it actually makes you sleepy. Researchers believe the psychological effects of drinking warm milk, believing that it will help you go to sleep, makes it worse for some. Our next myth is people who are within weight guidelines don't need to exercise or watch what they eat. People with optimal weight can still suffer from heart attack, stroke, and heart failure. Exercise helps to reduce diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, risk factors that lead to heart disease. Exercise has also been known to reduce anxiety and depression, regardless of your body weight. What you eat makes a big difference for your health. Our next myth, older adults need less sleep. The National Sleep Foundation states that while sleep patterns change with aging, adults 65 years and older um, still need between 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly, and ideally over a continuous period of time. So, continuous meaning that that's 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. So, today we examine some common health myths to determine whether they are false or based in fact. And so I know for myself, every time I go through these, I learn something new. And just really important to ensure that we're listening to our bodies. We're ensuring that we're exercising, that we're getting enough sleep. That we're getting the needed vitamins, and just make sure that our diet is well balanced. Ensure that we are living healthier lives. And so, thank you so much for your time today. And I'll pass it back to Christina.
Fantastic. Roy, thank you so much. We appreciate having you lead another wonderful and informative webinar for us. I also want to just give a thanks again to our sponsors who have made this possible, and remind you, the viewers, that you can look at this webinar and review it again by going to our YouTube page. You can simply go to youtube.com and search for RX Outreach. Thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.